last-ditch effort, teachers, parents, and even students plead with Texas lawmakers this weekend. Their rally might have come a little bit too late as the House and Senate reached a budget compromise.
Bad things happen when people don't vote.
The deep cuts lawmakers made could hurt them at the polls when the campaign season rolls around. The drastic decisions still to come next here on Session 11.
From KXAN Austin News, this is Session 11, live interactive breakdowns, insights, interviews, and our weekly roundtable discussion. You're watching Session 11 on KXAN Austin News.
Well, what a week for lawmakers trying to wrap up that big budget. 8 days until the end of the session now, and there's still a lot left up in the air when it comes to balancing the budget. Here's what they have to finish first. The conference committee will meet tomorrow to adopt the last section of the budget, education. There's also the comptroller's $1.2 billion revenue estimate increase to consider. Fiscal matters bills are rolling, trying to pump billions back into the budget, and heated discussions to come. School finance, higher education, and that rainy day fund. KXAN political reporter Josh Hinkle is covering those issues and joins us now with an in-depth look. Josh?
Well, Robert, the threat of a special session and just a handful of days left jolted lawmakers to take action at the end of the week. First off, they reached a budget deal after days of heated closed-door meetings. It spends $80.6 billion in general revenue over the next 2 years. It still needs final approval from both chambers before hitting the governor's desk. Part of the agreement weighed heavily on a fiscal matters bill, Senate Bill 1811. This would help pay for the $3 billion in extra spending the budget now contains. In the Senate, a school finance plan is moving forward, changing how districts receive state money. The budget would short schools by about $4 billion. The House sent Senate Bill 1581 back to the Senate, where members voted to attach the school finance plan. It could come back up as soon as Monday in the House. Obviously, there are still a lot of items to squeeze in before the end of the session, and before final approval, lawmakers are sure to scour those details closely.
There are still a lot of questions. There's still a lot of questions. There are still some things not being funded that I have to look at very closely.
A lot of pieces of the budget puzzle started coming together as lawmakers began having a more optimistic view of the state's economy. They think property values will go up, and that would reduce the state's obligation to school districts. Well, this morning, our On Politics poll asks, do state lawmakers need a special session to wrap up the budget? Log on to KXAN.com and let us know what you think. While you're there, click on the On Politics tab at the top. You'll go straight to our special political site where you can check out my latest blog posts. Plus, click the blue bar at the top to chat with us. Our On Politics panel will field your questions a little later in the show. Robert?
Josh, thank you very much. There were several major issues at the state capitol this week. The guns on campus bill suffering a potentially lethal blow in the House as one lawmaker used a parliamentary tactic called a point of order. In a last-ditch attempt at passage, State Senator Jeff Wentworth attached the bill to the budget-related bill and is now accusing Speaker Joe Straus of purposely killing it. The so-called Sanctuary Cities bill found new life just days after senators gutted it in a committee. This bill would keep state grant money from local police if they stopped officers from questioning the immigration status of people they detain. And a measure to ban smoking in many indoor places statewide passed the House and is now on its way to the Senate. Straight ahead, our On Politics panel joins us live here in the studio. They're in the trenches every day. This roundtable of Capitol journalists weighs in on our state's top officials and how they're handling this session, from presidential possibilities to the budget crunch. It's all ahead here on Session 11.